Hello everyone, my name is Corey May, and I'm a part-time youth minister here at St. James, as well as a 7th and 8th grade math teacher. I hope you're enjoying the series so far, and today we're going to be talking about suffering. Suffering is all around us in our world today. Whether it's poverty, hunger, human trafficking, and even death, all of this comes from original sin. God did not plan it this way. If we look at the story of creation, God's plan for us was to be in perfect harmony with Him. However, it was our free will and our conscious rejection of Him and His love that created suffering in our world. Bishop Fulton Sheen even made an analogy to this in his book, World's First Love. He related it to a director in a symphony of musicians. The director can control what the musicians play. However, the musicians have the free will to play those notes according to the director's will. Now, God's plan, everything was going in harmony until one musician played an off note. Now the director has two options. The director can either end the song right then and there, or have the symphony and the musicians replay that line of music. God, being eternal and outside of time, had a third option. He had the option to make that wrong note a new symphony and a new harmony. What He was able to do, draw into time. He was able to send His only Son and make Him flesh. With that wrong note, He made a new perfect harmony. Now, God sending His only Son was not above the human condition. He was not above suffering. Jesus experienced grief, sorrow, sadness, and even stress in His everyday life. If you think of the story of Lazarus, Jesus was really great friends with Lazarus. And when He found out that he died, Jesus wept. When He found out about the betrayal that Jesus faced, not only from Judas when he handed Him over to the Pharisees, but the betrayal of Peter when he denied Him 3 times. Just like that anguish and sorrow that Jesus felt, we also feel every day. And then finally, when Jesus was in the garden, when He knew the Father's mission for Him to take on the cross and all the sins of the whole world, Jesus was stressed out. He was so stressed that His sweat became blood. He experiences things just as we have. But what helped guide Him through was that prayer and that hope. When Jesus was in that garden, He prayed these words from Psalm 22. My God, why have you abandoned me? Why so far from my call from help, from my cries of anguish? My God, I call by day, you do not answer. By night, I have no relief. Yet you are enthroned as the Holy One. You are the glory of Israel. In you our fathers trusted. They trusted and you rescued them. To you they cried out and they escaped. In you they trusted and were not disappointed. In the beginning of that psalm, there is abandonment and despair. However, that psalm turns into hope, knowing that God is always there in our suffering, even when we feel alone. And we've all experienced that. For myself, I felt alone in my faith. When I was 19 years old, I was extremely stressed out. It was the summer after my freshman year of college. I was working a full-time job, 40 hours a week. On top of that, I was working another part-time job, 15 hours a week, as well as taking summer courses. So all that adding up, it's about 70 hours. The stress and anxiety that caused in my life, the social things that I missed, and I just wasn't able to be there for my family and friends. But then that summer, another stressor, another part of suffering came about when my best friend passed away. I was just in so much despair and so much sorrow that I didn't know what to do. Luckily, I had a drawback on my faith. And in my faith, I found hope, knowing that God does not abandon us even when we feel alone, and even in death, He does not abandon us. I have the hope that my friend is praying for me each and every day with the communion of saints. And I am praying for him. Even though he is not here in this physical world anymore, I know that our bond and our friendship is still there forever. And I know that God is taking care of everyone in His love and His mercy. And it's that hope that can help us get out of our suffering. This Sunday, I ask you to offer up your suffering during Mass. Lift it up to God and He will provide. Also, go to St. James' website and sign up for Formed. They have many different resources available, including topics such as suffering and many more from a Catholic perspective. I challenge you to join us next week as well as we continue our conversations, and I'll be praying for you.